Hello, I'm Dr. Andrew J. Allen, Associate Professor of Saxophone at Georgia College and State University, and in this video I'll be performing and discussing the 2024-2025 Georgia All-State Concert Band Audition Etudes for alto saxophone. That was the lyrical etude. So obviously with any kind of lyrical etude, your sound, your expression, your great intonation all need to be forefront in your playing. And this etude has a little additional information for you. You see that the tempo marking is adagio con espressione. So we have the tempo. But what does the con espressione mean? Literally, it means with expression. But usually what this means in practice is whoever wrote this expects for you to play with vibrato. So if you're not comfortable with vibrato yet, pause this video after I tell you what to do next, and in the YouTube search bar, type Andrew Allen Vibrato Van Doren. I have a video with my friends at Van Doren. I will try to remember to include it in the description of this video as well. That will help you get comfortable with that concept. Again, as a saxophonist, this is just something you need to know. So, in addition to that, just a few little pieces of information. In measure 2, the second full measure, you see dots under a slur. And that may be very confusing until you start thinking about what a string player would do when they see that. That was originally a string marking. A violinist, if they saw that, they would continue to press their bow into the string and just change direction. So it's a little bit of separation, but nominal. Just listen to what I'm doing there, see if it works for you, and if you have any questions, just contact me, and we'll straighten it out. In measure 4, you have a trill on the E. Now, again, we're counting the 8th note here, so you don't need to think about trilling all the way through the E. I want you to think about trilling halfway through, and then stopping and playing a beautiful E with no trill to set yourself up for graces. Listen to what I'm doing in the recording, and see if you can emulate that. But it's going to make your life easier, and it's what advanced musicians would do in that situation. The trill is just to accentuate the E, not to take over the E. I do exactly the same thing in measure 5 when you have the trill on the G. Again, trill halfway through, hold the G, and then continue on with your grace pattern. In measure 7, when you have the little graces on the D and the C, I've got a little alternate fingering for you. So you can continue to hold your middle finger on the C, and when the D comes up, rather than playing the full fingering, hit your middle palm key, and then right back to your C. That's a great trill fingering for D. It's also really great for graces like this pattern. You don't have to go all the way to the full fingering. If you do, you stand the potential of doing something that clatters a little bit, and this is a lot more graceful, a lot easier to execute in the moment. Finally, in measure 8, you see that trill line just continuing all the way through, and you may think, how on earth can I trill continuously and do the graces? You don't. So just like we were talking about before, even though you have the continuous trill line, you're not going to continuously trill. So for instance, in measure 8, you're going to trill until the and of big beat 2. And then you're going to hold the E, play the graces. Same thing. On the F, you're going to trill until the and of big beat 4, hold the F, continue with the graces, etc. It's going to sound a lot better, it's going to be a lot easier, and just remember when you're trilling, you don't have to trill as fast as you possibly can. Listen to what I'm doing in the video, see if you like it. Now, listen as I play the technical etude. etude has several challenges. I think one of the most pressing is going to be the mordant, the little Charlie Brown squiggle that you see on the first note of many of the bars. All that is, you're starting on the original pitch, going up to the next note in the key, and then back down. So it's just a little wiggle. Now listen to what I'm doing there, but what I would advise is, don't leave it out, but learn the technique underneath it, and then add the mordant back in once the underlying technique is comfortable. Again, don't leave it out. It's necessary, they wrote it. Don't chicken out, you can do it. You can do it. But go slow and build, and just make sure your fingers are relaxed and comfortable, because if there's any locking or straight fingers, then your fingers aren't gonna move the way we need them to there. So just watch out for that. Now, some ideas on some alternate fingerings here. There is a lot of technique, so there's some things that you should think about that make your life a little easier. In measures 3 and 4, I use side B flat. So 1, 2, just like you're playing an A, and then the bottom side key in your right hand is going to make that a lot easier. Measure 5, I'd use bis B flat. So first finger on the B key and also on that little key underneath it. Going to make your life a lot easier. Measure 7 and measure 11, you can use that alternate D that we were talking about for the last etude, that little middle palm key. Measure 9, definitely use your side B flat for the mordant, and then you can leave your right hand side key down and just lift your first finger and then go right back. It's a lot easier. You can do the same thing in measure 16 and measures 22 as well. In measure 10, at the end of the bar, use your bis B flat. Measure 11, I'd also use a bis B flat, and measure 14, I'd use that side B flat. So here, remember, still a beautiful sound is required. Lots of air will be required, and do all the little details, because we're not machines. We aren't just finger mechanisms. We aren't just note-producing robots. We're human beings. So even though the technique is pretty intense, I still want you to focus on musicianship, phrasing, beautiful dynamics, and a great sound throughout. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or you'd like a free lesson with me, just reach out at the contact information at the end of this video. Happy practicing, and best of luck as you improve as a saxophonist and as a musician.